Hello there, guys. Thank you for joining me on lesson number 2. Now, you've already probably done lesson number 1, which is looking at Marxist theory and a bit of classism within Disney proper. That was a really interesting lesson from Nico. Now, we're going to switch bases today. We're going to be taking a look at post-colonial theory as well as historical accuracy within Disney movies. We're going to be doing kind of a deep dive into one Disney movie that's very problematic, and that is Pocahontas. So we're going to be looking at Pocahontas through a post-colonial lens as well as for historical accuracy and try to figure out why Disney made the movie the way they did. This lesson has a lot going on for it. I'm not going to talk about post-colonialism right here. However, I have actually introduced a resource. It's just a quick YouTube video from What the Theory that goes into a deep dive of what post-colonialism is. It's not mandatory for you to watch because I already kind of expect you to know what it is. But if you need a refresher, and if you need something that, gets you kind of the motors running in your brain, I would definitely go and take a look at that video. I've also included a link to Owl Purdue, which gives you a brief description of post-colonial, which is just a nice brief written description that's also very fast and gives you a good idea of what we're going to be talking about. Now, as you guys know, post-colonial theory is looking at the relationship between the colonizer and the colonized, right? And we're looking at how the colonizer exudes their power over the colonized. Now, Pocahontas is a great representation of this because the whole movie is pretty much problematic in that it is made by colonizers, and it's in a way that almost makes it friendly towards the two groups, which was not the case. I won't get into too much of that because I kind of want you to draw your own conclusions, but I want you guys to take a look at this movie through a post-colonial lens, and I hope that our activities really get you going. Other objective for the day is looking at historical accuracy. So the movie is completely unhistorically accurate. It's not accurate at all. So we're going to be looking at the real history. We're going to be looking at why Disney might have made these differences, as well as how these differences matter, especially when looking at a post-colonial lens. So the agenda for today is going to be first the webinar. It's going to be kind of an introductory webinar. We're going to be doing a character analysis of John Smith. So we'll get into that when we get into that. After that, we have two videos that I want you to watch. They are both YouTube videos, and they're talking about the historical aspect of Pocahontas. So the real story from the real person in the real Jamestown. And I want you to take a look at these videos and write some answers to some questions. I'm looking for about 2 to 3 sentences for those questions. Don't give me one sentence. Don't give me a word. I want 2 to 3 sentences for each. After that, we're looking at some primary sources, which are going to be some paintings. They are problematic in their own way, each of them, and I want you to kind of take a look at them and answer the questions that I've given you on those paintings as well. There's a forum there, so you're going to be taking a look at the question, writing on the forum, and then commenting on another of your classmates, okay, posts. So just get collaborative with it. Have some fun. Try to think about why these paintings were made, why they constitute a post-colonial lens, and how they are historically inaccurate, okay? And then not lastly, but the next one is going to be looking directly at this movie itself. We're going to be doing a deep dive onto 3 problematic scenes, okay? I want you to look at these scenes from a post-colonial lens, from historical accuracy, as well as from just why you think Disney did this. Like, why was this even a thing? This whole movie is a big why. Lastly, we're going to be doing a final project on Flipgrid. Now, your Flipgrid projects will be marked by me. They will go towards your final grade. It's going to be pretty easy. It's just going to be a video that you record yourself. We'll get more into that when we get into that, but make sure that you guys are clicking on Teach Me, Mr. Rusi, because I'm going to be giving you guys some helpful tips as well as explaining a little bit more about the lesson, okay? So, Teach Me, Mr. Rusi, make sure that you're clicking on them. Go for those What the Theory video as well as the Owl Purdue before we get started. Once again, you don't have to if you already have a solid grip on it, but it might be good just so you remember, as well as the webinar, okay? So we're going to move right on to the webinar from now. Hope you guys are ready. Let's get started.